Hi, it's David Sanfilippo with another tip about Sitecore Personalize. When existing Sitecore developers or marketers first start to look at Sitecore Personalize, I think they sometimes get a little overwhelmed when they look to see that you have to create the HTML and the CSS within Sitecore Personalize. They're very much used to going to XP, adding a personalization rule, changing the data source, and not really having to deal with the look and feel aspect of it. So they may feel overwhelmed, but I'm here to tell you it's actually not that difficult, and there are tools out there that make it very easy to create new experiences with limited need to really understand all of that. Although having a developer helps, even the developers will like the fact that it's actually pretty easy to do. So just a demo, I'm going to create a new experience. And we'll create some content. And you see Sitecore Personalize has a number of out-of-the-box templates, and you can create your own templates. But what I want to do is just create my own template. And this gives me blank HTML and CSS. But normally what I'm doing here is I am trying to modify existing components that I already have on my site. So just for an example, let's imagine we're working on Sitecore.com. And say we wanted to take one of these components and turn them into a web experience and maybe replace it. Let's take this for example. Say we wanted to parameterize this, give content authors the ability to change the title and the description and maybe even the links if we wanted to. But we would need to recreate all this HTML and CSS. Well, there are a ton of plugins to Chrome, and I have one that's called Snip CSS. So if I click this, I actually can select within where I want to do, and I want it to be this outer section right here. So I'll run Snip CSS, and this little Kiwi guy will come out, and he'll start analyzing it, and he'll pull out the HTML and the CSS that I need to create this as a web experience. Now this is just one example of a tool. There are plenty of them that do that. And you can see a preview of what it would look like, and we can just take the content and let's go into our web experience. That becomes the HTML. We take the CSS, and I can just click the copy button there and change that over here. And now we want to make things parameterizable. So let's just like turn each of these into a parameter. So it's very easy to do. You just need a double bracket, CTA1. We got to give it a name. Use or the line signs to separate the thing. We want it to be a string, and give it the default value. And I do that, and you can see it immediately pops up over here on the right. And I can do CTA description, same thing. And then I can go back, I can even do it for within the anchor tags for the links that they go to. Like this could be the CTA link, right? CTA1 link. And there are other settings and parameters and stuff that you could do there. This just gives you a good example. And then I can go and I can configure it. What I probably want to do is enable preview. And we can go back and do the whole thing. There is one last thing I'd want to do and just tell it where to go. Now, if I could come up with the exact CSS selector, and this is where you may need a developer to come in here and say, okay, where on the page do we actually move this to? So I'm just going to put this at the end of the page so you can easily see it, but like here's where you target either the ID or CSS class that allows you to put that exactly where you want it on the page. And that's really it. So if I save it, I can go back, and you can see we can edit it. And it updates on the fly, lorem ipsum, right? And we can change all of that. So you can see how easy it is to take existing markup and CSS, turn it into a web experience, and then you're off to the races. So that's it. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed this tip.